in the heart of India, where time flows with the reverence of ancient traditions. Two legendary rivers, the Ganga and Yamuna, have long been celebrated as lifelines of civilization. Their waters carry not just the liquid essence of life, but the sacred stories of countless generations. Ganga, which is revered as the Mother Ganges, is not just a river. It's a source of sustenance for agriculture, a conduit for transportation, and a spiritual anchor for millions who find solace in its water. Its life giving embrace irrigates fields, powering the agriculture backbone of the region. And then there is Yamuna, a silent force which contributes significantly to the agricultural fertility of its basin. Beyond the fields, it supports industries and urban centers, becoming an economic lifeline for those settled along its bank. These rivers are not mere bodies of water, but repositories of culture and religious significance. Pilgrims converge along their banks, seeking spiritual purification and redemption. The waters, once considered sacred, now bear witnesses to the evolving landscape of human activities. However, as we delve into the current state of Ganga and Yamuna, we are confronted with a harsh reality. Urbanization, industrialization, and unchecked pollution have marred the pristine purity these rivers once symbolized.
हम लोगों की बेसिक माँ ही है। इसके अंदर में कचरा कूड़ा करकट ये कंडीशन देख करके हर हिंदू के मन में एक दिल के अंदर में जो है बड़ी जो है उदासी रहती है।
एक्चुअली तो मुझे याद नहीं कि हम छोटे थे तो गंगा साफ थी कि नहीं, बट इतना भी गंदा नहीं था जितना अब गंदा है।
बेसिकली जो रहते हैं इधर वो सोचते हैं कि ये मतलब एक तालाब टाइप का चीज़ है, इसी में हर चीज़ करना है। नहाने से लेके शाम में सुबह उठ के ब्रश करने से लेके उनके लिए वॉश बेसिन हो जाता है ये। फिर
ये क्या है कि उन लोग को मालूम है तो भी वो लोग डस्टबिन में नहीं फेंकते, गंगा ही में फेंकते। उन लोग सोचते हैं कि डस्टबिन में फेंकेंगे तो इसलिए वो कचरा भी चला जाएगा, ऐसे उसमें फेंकेंगे तो पुण्य कमाएंगे।
Today, we find ourselves at the critical juncture where the health of this river is not only threatened by the human activities but also by the specter of climate change. Extreme weather events, altered precipitation patterns, and rising temperatures pose additional challenges to the delicate balance of these ecosystems. In the northern part of India, the Ganga began its sacred journey at the confluence of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda River in the town of Deoprayag, Uttarakhand. Covering a distance of 256.9 kilometers, the river flows into the holy town of Haridwar, where a dam diverts some of its water for irrigation. Continuing its course, the Ganga travels a 900-kilometer path to the city of Kanpur, welcoming the joining of Ramganga River along the way. The river then majestically flows to the city of Prayagraj, renowned for the famous Kumbh Mela, where it merges with the 1,400 kilometers long Yamuna, originated from Yamunotri glaciers of Galwad Himalayas and joined by the underground river Saraswati. At the confluence known as the Sangam, the Yamuna contributes about 58.5% of the combined flow, being larger than the Ganga. This sacred junction is highly significant in Hinduism. From Prayagraj, the Ganga continues its eastward journey, entering the oldest city of India, Varanasi, where it is revered by the thousands of devotees and holy individuals every day. Departing Varanasi, the river proceeds towards the Ganges Delta in West Bengal and Bangladesh, with numerous rivers joining its course. The Ganges Delta boasts a staggering area of 64,000 square kilometers, making it the world's largest delta. Finally, the journey of both rivers conclude into the Bay of Bengal, marking a remarkable 2,704 km long pilgrimage from Deoprayag to the Bay of Bengal. As we peel back the layers of pollution in the Yamuna and Ganga River, the dyeing and leather industries, along with the centuries old religious practices, emerge as silent contributors to the environmental narrative. Here in Panipat, Kanpur, Ludhiana, and Varanasi, the vibrant colors of fabrics and the rich textures of leather belie a darker truth, the discharge of toxic effluents into the very lifelines of our nation. In Panipat, The dying units paint a vivid picture of struggle between economic progress and environmental preservation. Recent data reveals disturbing concentration of heavy metals like chromium and lead in the Yamuna River, surpassing permissible levels and underscoring the urgency for intervention.
Is employing a large number of people. There are small units as well as large units. Though this industry gives a lot of employment, it also results in the contamination of the already scarce water resources. The water that comes out of these textile units is often used for growing vegetables, which is obviously having a spiraling effect on human health when it is consumed by people.
Downstream in Kanpur, a city known not only for its dyeing and leather industry but also for its spiritual significance, a complex environmental saga unfolds.
It's really powerful, very strong. And what kind of waste do we have in here?
Yeah, highly chemicalized and toxic water,
Yeah.
wastewater coming from the tanneries. And you know, tanneries use a variety of chemicals, hundreds of chemicals.
Including really dangerous chemicals like chromium they
Yeah.
use to soften the leather, don't they?
Yeah, chemicals
Oh, man.
having heavy metals and pesticides as well.
Recent studies expose the combined impact of these industries, revealing concentration of hazardous chemicals exceeding safe limits in the Ganga.
So he's stopping something happening down there. Hey. What are you stopping? Why are you stopping? Who is in charge of this place? 4 days. There's 4 days of flesh. This is where they strip the flesh from the hide. There are huge puddles of water, and the water has that distinctive blue. It's blue because there's chrome in it. Yeah. And there's hides here that clearly have been treated with the chrome. This does not look so good.
That tidy. That much tidy,
This
yeah.
does not look tidy at
Tidy
all.
at
What do you?
all.
Looks disgusting.
Yeah.
The effort to clean the river.
The river, a symbol of purity, now grapbles with a complex concussion of industrial pollutants, altering its very essence. The textile industry too plays its role in this narrative. Ludhiana and Varanasi, vibrant hubs of fabric production, also witness the silent release of pollutants into the rivers. Recent data speaks volume. Chemical oxygen demand and biological oxygen demand levels have surged, indicating an ecosystem under stress and demanding immediate attention. As we journey downstream, the Kanpur-Unnao region reveals the hidden cost of chemical, pharmaceutical, and leather production. Recent studies uncovers troubling concentration of industrial chemicals in the Ganga River, which not just affect the aquatic life but the health of communities reliant on this water. The consequences are not confined to the industries alone. Fish, once a source of sustenance, now carry the imprint of industrial pollutants. Recent data showcase alarming levels of bioaccumulation, sounding a call for sustainable practices and a collective awakening. Additionally, the age-old religious practices along these sacred riverbanks, while deeply ingrained in our culture, also contribute to the environmental burden. Cremation and other ritual release substances that further challenge the delicate balance of these ecosystems.
This body will be exposed and body will come in the mainstream of the river. Well, there will be decomposition. Secondly, this is river. This water is used for irrigation. This water is used for drinking. This water used for other commercial purposes because of the fishing and aquatic animals. How aquatic animals will be survive?
Amidst the timeless flow of these rivers, pollution has cast a shadow, worsened the impacts of climate change. Industrial discharge and untreated sewage has turned sections of these sacred rivers into hotspots of environmental degradation, amplifying the challenges posed by our changing climate.
About 70% of surface water resources in India are polluted. Every day, almost 40 million litres of wastewater enters rivers and other water bodies, with only a tiny fraction adequately treated. A World Bank report suggests that in middle-income countries like India, water pollution can account for the loss of up to half of GDP growth.
As organic matter decomposes in these polluted rivers, methane is released, a greenhouse gas contributing to overarching issue of global warming. The atmosphere burdened with methane emission adds to the complexity of climate change. The disruption of carbon cycling processes is a consequence of pollution. The release of methane and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere intensifies the climate crisis. What was once a natural balance is now a disruptive cycle, which contributes to the urgency of addressing climate change. Life in the Ganga and Yamuna rivers signals a warning. Over the past decades, major fish species and critical inhabitants, including the Ganges dolphin, gharial crocodiles, and numerous turtles, have diminished, are now declared as threatened species due to pollution. Human interventions, such as hydroelectric dams, further stress these rivers. Unfortunately, these structures, designed without considering the ecological flow of the river, unintentionally contribute to the unfolding climate challenges. Like in March 2016, the Ganges faced a dire situation near its delta. Large parts of the river dried up, resembling the drought-like conditions. Polluted rivers has a direct impact on climate change. These rivers get darker due to the contaminants which make them absorb more sunlight. This heats up the water, accelerating the breakdown of organic matter. This process releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which contributes to climate change. In 2014, Namami Ganga embarked on a mission to breathe life back into the Ganga. Sewage system, industrial pollution control, and watershed management became crucial weapons against environmental challenges.
नमामि गंगे के प्रयास और नमामि गंगे के साथ में जितने संस्थान जुटे हैं, चाहे वाइल्ड लाइफ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया हो या दूसरे एनजीओ हों, उन सब के साथ जुड़ने के कारण से ये गंगा के शुद्धिकरण, गंगा को निर्मल और अविरल बनाने का जो आंदोलन था, ये आंदोलन एक जन आंदोलन का स्वरूप लेता जा रहा है.
Namami Ganga program, so far in the last 7 years or 8 years, we have sanctioned projects worth about 31,000 crore, and nearly 25,000 crore worth STPs have been sanctioned. These projects are in various phases of completion. 96 of them have been completed. Almost 5,000 million liters daily of sewage, untreated sewage, which used to go to the distributaries and Ganga main stem, has been treated and now put into the river.
Water quality substantially improved and previously polluted section underwent rehabilitation. The river witnessed a resurgence of life. Endangered species such as Ganges dolphin, gharials, turtles reclaimed their habitat. More than 9.3 million Indian major carps and 90,000 hilsa fish rejoined the Ganga basin, bolstering the river ecosystem. The capacity development programs for forest officials further enriched conservation efforts. The story continues along the river banks. NGOs like the Clean Ganga campaign and local communities emerged as unsung heroes. They actively participated in cleanup drives and advocated for policy changes.
देख रहे क्रेन, यहाँ तक के एरिया पे कोई भी ऐसा पार्टिकल जो पर्यावरण के लिए दूषित करने के लिए जिम्मेवार है, हम सब उसको उठाएंगे और उठा करके डस्टबिन में या एक ढेरी बनाएंगे, जिस ढेरी को हमारे एलसीडी जो हमारे सहयोगी हैं वो उसको ट्रक में ले जा करके डिस्पोज कर देंगे. ठीक है, तो इस स्वच्छ भारत में, स्वच्छ यमुना अभियान में यही हमारी भागीदारी है. रेडी? ग्रेट.
Shifting to the Yamuna River, the Delhi government embarked on an ambitious project. Rejuvenating river banks, sewage treatment, and pollution control measures are set in motion.
वादा किया कि यमुना 90% क्लीन हो जाएगी.
अब जब ये अभियान उन्होंने क्लीन यमुना का शुरू किया है ना, तो इसमें अब काफ़ी तेज़ी से काम हो रहा है. मैं अभी इसमें कई दिनों से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ. अभी यहाँ पे हमारे साउथ ईस्ट दिल्ली के जो डीएम हैं, उन्होंने इसका अभियान 7 तारीख से शुरू किया है। ये यहाँ से लेकर और पूरा जमुना पुल तक और उधर ITO तक पूरा उन्होंने अपने अंडर में ये 7 तारीख को अभियान शुरू किया है, जिसमें मशहूर समाज सेवक जिनको मैक्सेस अवार्ड भी मिला हुआ है और इंडिया का वाटरमैन के नाम से जाना जाता है, राजेंद्र सिंह जी, वो भी इस कार्यक्रम में आए थे। और इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत ये 7 तारीख को हुई है। 21 दिन का ये अभियान है यहाँ साउथ ईस्ट दिल्ली का, यमुना को क्लीन करने का। हम जब 7 तारीख को आए थे, ये सारा यहाँ पे पूरा मलबा और गाद भरी पड़ी थी। जो अभी आप खाली देख रहे हो ना यमुना, ये पूरी भरी पड़ी थी। अब ये 3-4 दिन में ही मतलब काफ़ी खाली हो गई है। तो इसको देखते हो तो लग रहा है कि बहुत अच्छा चलेगा ये अभियान और यमुना क्लीन हो जाएगी, दिल्ली सरकार यमुना क्लीन कर देगी।
Delhi government plans to increase their sewage treatment capacity by 41%, reaching to 890 million gallons per day by next year.
दिल्ली जल बोर्ड रोज 10 वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट्स के थ्रू 900 MGD पानी ट्रीट करता है और फिर बड़ी बड़ी पाइपलाइंस के थ्रू ये पानी हमारे 120 प्राइमरी रिजर्वॉयर्स में जाते हैं और उसके बाद ये पब्लिक में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए जाते हैं। जल बोर्ड की एक डेडिकेटेड क्वालिटी कंट्रोल टीम है पूरी, जिनका काम ही यही होता है कि वाटर क्वालिटी पे चेक रखें। हमारे यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी नई टेक्नोलॉजीज लगाई जा रही हैं अलग अलग टाइप के पॉल्यूटेंट्स के लिए। दिल्ली जल बोर्ड में 2 नदियों से पानी आता है, गंगा से और यमुना से। अभी हम हैदरपुर प्लांट में हैं। यहाँ पे यमुना का पानी हमें CLC के थ्रू मिलता है। ये आप देख सकते हैं, ये रॉ वाटर है। यहाँ पे हमारे 2 प्लांट हैं 100 MGD के। इस रॉ वाटर को ट्रीट करके नॉर्थ दिल्ली, वेस्ट दिल्ली और साउथ दिल्ली के कुछ एरियाज में सप्लाई किया जाता है। ये सबसे पहला स्टेज है। आप देख सकते हैं कि रॉ वाटर के अंदर हमें जो हरियाणा से आता है उसमें
Additionally, 570 new unauthorized colonies will be joined to the sewage network, which will enhance the connectivity.
के टाइम में मिट्टी बहुत ज़्यादा आ जाती है, उसको सेटल करने के लिए यूज होता है। इसके बाद पानी जो है ये आपका कैस्केड एरेटर है, जहाँ पे हम खड़े हैं जिसके ऊपर बेसिकली पानी की जो हेल्थ होती है उसको डिटरमाइन करने का एक तरीका होता है कि उसमें कितनी ऑक्सीजन है। तो कैस्केड एरेशन के अंदर हम पानी को मल्टीपल लेवल्स ऑफ कैस्केड जो आप देख सकते हैं, जो अलग अलग स्टेयर्स टाइप बना हुआ है, इससे रिलीज करते हैं तो नेचुरली एटमॉस्फेयर से ऑक्सीजन उस पानी में डिफ्यूज होती है। कैस्केड एरेशन का नेक्स्ट स्टेप होता है कोएगुलेशन, जिसके अंदर आप देखेंगे कि पानी के अंदर एलम और पॉली इलेक्ट्रोलाइट डाला जा रहा है। ये जो पाइप से जा रहा है इसमें हम एलम डालते हैं PAC की फॉर्म में, पॉली एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड, जो कि एक केमिकल होता है जिससे पानी में जितनी भी गंदगी होती है वो कोएगुलेट हो जाती है, मतलब वो एक साथ आके चिपक जाती है। और उसी में हेल्प करता है एक और केमिकल कंपाउंड जो आप देखेंगे उधर लिक्विड फॉर्म में जा रहा है। ये जो भी सॉलिड्स एक साथ कोएगुलेट हुए हैं उसको फर्दर जोड़ने में, चिपकने में हेल्प करता है।
In our journey to revive Ganga and Yamuna River, the ongoing efforts, though commendable, but reveal a temporary solution.
Saying that the whole Ganga mission will be complete in 5 years. No, 5 years will ensure that there is a marked difference. But it's a long project. Rhine and Thames were same dirty 50, 60 years ago, but they also took nearly 20 years to completely change the overall ecology of that. And we will also do.
A profound revelation occurred during the COVID-19 lockdown. The pause in industrial activities and reduced human interference allowed these rivers to show signs of purification.
There was a lockdown and most of the industries were not able to operate, and therefore the industrial discharge which was going to Yamuna had actually stopped, and that for sure has reduced the pollution load, for example the BOD load into the river Yamuna.
लेकिन इस लॉकडाउन ने अचानक स्थिति बहुत तेजी से बदल दी। हुआ क्या कि सब कुछ संपूर्ण बंदी का आदेश हुआ, सारी इंडस्ट्री बंद हो गई। तो अगर आप देखें कि जितना अवजल गंगा में या अवजल और मलजल का योग गंगा में जाता है, वो उसका 1/10 जो होता है, 10वां हिस्सा इंडस्ट्री से आता है।
This unintended hiatus underlines a fundamental truth. The most potent and lasting solution lies not just in cleaning up the mess, but in preventing it in the first place. Nature demonstrated that when we cease harmful activities, these rivers have the inherent ability to heal.
All the years we have been talking about it, but never we saw such kind of enthusiasm across the people or across the board on the improvement in the nature. Water is one of them. So it is definitely possible.
The Ganga and Yamuna are not merely bodies of water, they are barometers of our commitment to a sustainable coexistence. The COVID 19 pause taught us that these rivers can heal when we pause our harmful actions. In the broader context, it is crucial to understand that the health of these rivers is intertwined with the global challenge of climate change. The impact is not just local, it is a part of larger narrative where these rivers play an important role in mitigating the effects of climate change. However, this realization doesn't cast a shadow of despair. Instead, it brings forth an opportunity for collective action. By adopting sustainable practices, preventing pollution, and nurturing a harmonious relationship with nature, we can not only revive the Ganga and Yamuna rivers but contribute to the larger fight against climate change.